here and that had spent time with her and got to know her, I'm sure that she would be over the moon to see all you people here and share the last moments that we have with her and rejoice basically in the life that we had with her and all the things that she gave to us. And a remarkable lady. A wife, a mother, a grandma too. This is the legacy we have from you. You taught us love and how to fight. You gave us strength. You gave us might. A strong person would be hard to find. You fought for us in one way or another, not just as a wife, not just as a mother. For all of us, you gave us your best. And now the time has come for you to rest. So go in peace. You earned your sleep. Your love in our heart will eternally keep. From Haarlem. Not only was she a remarkable mother, but also the best friend and confidant. Losing Mum has left a massive void in our lives, which we can only learn to live with in time. But I would like us to remember the happy times we had throughout the years and try not to be too sad today. Easier said than done. From stories I have glanced from her earlier years, she was quite a rebellious character and always up to some sort of mischief, which I'm sure Nolan, her elder sister, would be able to lay testament to, had she been here in person. She married our father Stuart in 1954 and settled into marriage and married life in Butterwick. I eventually came along, followed by Gary and then Karen. We spent many years at Old Leek before moving to Boston. Mum had already started work at the now famous Pilgrim Hospital. I will come back to that later. Where she continued to work until she eventually retired when she retired at the age of 65. During that time, 4 grandchildren arrived: Leanne, Alex, Harlem, Shay, and we were lucky enough to have our family holidays together, of which there's such amazing memories. She absolutely loved the holidays, and they often crammed in 3 and 4 years, 3 into 1 year, no wonder. Dad had kept working until he was 70. They travelled extensively until they joined us in Kenya and stayed for a year before returning back to Boston in 2008, when sadly Dad passed away suddenly. This was devastating for Mum. She had not only lost her husband, but her best friend and sparring partner. She was fiercely protective over her brood. God help anyone that crossed any of us. She would be gunning for them. To say she was feisty would be an understatement. Combined with her strong will and stubbornness, made her quite a force to be reckoned with. But underneath that, she had a massive heart and would do anything for all of us. She eventually moved here in 2013 when she became everyone's mum. I think just about everyone in this room used to call her mum, and she quickly became part of the gang. A naughty as ever, she loved a glass of rosé.
Yes.
And anyone who listened into anything or giving her a cigarette, she kept us all amused with her classic one-liners and at times colourful language. I think you all know that. And you should have written the book you kept threatening to do it, would have been a bestseller. Les, Mum, I was so blessed to have you so near in your last years, but that makes it even harder to see you go. I miss your cheeky smile and looking in to my bag to see what cakes I had bought for you. I miss hearing you say I love you every day when I left, but most of all, I miss knowing you are here and will never see you again. I know you needed to rest, Mum, so it's your time now. You have selflessly looked after us at all times for you to take Dad's side in eternal rest. Love you, Mum. Gary, dear Mother, inadvertently you taught me how to sew when I was a teenager. I would buy a new pair of trousers every Saturday, and they would always need to be taken up. And in the northern sole days, they should have been 40 inches bottoms, and a lot of sewing. Mum refused to do it. Mum also loved to arrange the holidays we went on in the 90s, and naughtiness would always prevail. I would just ask where we were going to go on our vacations, and we would always have memorable times together. Mum, you'll be sorely missed, and I cannot thank you enough for being the mum that you always were. May you rest in peace with Dad. Karen, dear Mother, the backbone of my life for so many years. Nanny as well as Dad, to both my children as well as Rico. Mum, you've always been a shining light when I felt that I was lost. I can only thank you, Mum, for the mother that you were, as I know that there are so many other people out there who would be so lucky to have a mother like you. Mum, you have left a void in my life, and so many others. You are not one in a million. You are and will always be the million. Really going to miss you, Mum. Myself, dear Jean, you came into my life like a whirlwind, strong in your approach, immediately letting me know that you protected your cubs at all costs. You are truly a person who one can only admire. You caring nature of all things around you, as long as it was animal related. You met so many people in the time that you were here and touched them in a special way. Your short, wicked humour would always bring a smile. Has anyone here been confronted by their mother-in-law with a walking stick? Trust me. Understand, fast and not to serve cold tea or toast. All jokes aside, did 4 times in our 5-year relationship. God bless her. I would like to thank you all for attending Mum's memorial service. I'm sure that she would be really moved by the amount of people that loved and cared for her that are here today, and wish her farewell. A mother's love is unlike anything else in the world. It comforts you always, lifting you, knows the presence is always there, remaining with you, that the bond between a mother and the children are eternal. You're a light. As you can burn a candle, but the candle will die. The love of a mother will always be around us all and will never ever die out. Harlem, dear Nana, I'm going to miss you so much. Breaks my heart that does not have a chance to see you anymore. I will carry you in my heart. Shay, my beautiful Nana, I will always love you in tons. You with Granddad now, so you will all be good, Monsieur, and I'll love you always. Leanne, Nana, I'm so sad that I didn't have a chance to come back to South Africa to see you due to the COVID restriction in Australia. Just didn't make it possible. You'll always be in my thoughts and in my heart, Nana. Love you. Alex, dearest Nana, it was a sore heart to hear of your passing, and I only wish that I had more time to spend with you. We can always think of what could have been, and unfortunately never had the chance. May you rest in peace. Nolan, Jean's sister. Dear Jean, my only sibling, I am so sad to lose you, especially as it has been so many years since we last met. I remember all the lovely family Christmases that we spent at your house. Such special times. I take comfort that you are with Stuart and Roy, Mum and Dad. Carrig, dear Nana, there wouldn't be enough time in the day for me to share with others the countless tales and your fascinated stories to a young mind. You can only imagine myself sitting in awe with whichever one of my friends were over, lucky enough to hear all the stories of how you lived in a time unlike the one we know, each more interesting than the last. I know that I am not biologically your grandchild, but love you like a grandson and only recognize you as my dad. From stealing your cigarettes, forcing you to hide them for me, telling me more so often that I'm a little shit at the age of 12. I will always remember our long conversations that we had and will forever carry you in my heart. To all that have come to join us today, Jean, finally send off, we would like to thank you all. Jean, as I said earlier, touched us all in different ways. And we'll always remember her for kindness, honesty, honest approach to most important, her sense of humour. I would like to end this off by making a statement that we should stop taking time for granted. Time is all that we have, and it's one thing that cannot be reversed. So please take the time to reflect on time and make the most of what you have with it. Mend what you need to mend, and love with all that you have. And as far as the rest is, time will take care of itself. May you rest in peace, Mum. As you walk along the shore into your sunset, to a new beginning, there is no need to look over your shoulder, as we are not far behind and will be together again someday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's raise the glass to Mum. Cheers, Mum.
Sorry, yours?
Yeah, you can. After we have dinner. Just one last little thing I wanted to do.
You did really good.
Kat, Elaine, Marion isn't here, but just to thank you. You looked after her so well. I bet it's quiet in there now, isn't it? She's told a few choice words, hasn't she, some of the carers?
Oh yeah.
Cows and cough. But that was Mum. It's a pleasure.
No, thank you. We thank you, Kathy.
You made her happy.
Yeah. No, we thank all of you, that have put so much effort into Mum's life. I even know at a certain time, Janet, thank you. We owe you for sharing Stuart with Mum. I know at one stage she said that she met Stuart at Pilgrim, and he was her boyfriend, and that was great.
Did you know we used to take her out.
You just take her out on dates, yeah. So, yeah, we've had so many people that have looked after Mum. The other lady, which I've failed to mention, and I apologise, who looked after her was Roxanne. And I thank Roxanne in the time she looked after Mum, and that was for a lengthy period of time. But to all people that just knew Jean for who Jean really was and the person that she was, yes, she was a phenomenal person. And I can't thank you all enough. And really, it's really great to have you've all made the effort to come and bid your farewell. And from myself, my wife and her family, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved. Took the get well soon cars and stuffed animals, poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up, but I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, and when God takes you back, he'll say hallelujah, you're home. I fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up, folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, and when God takes you back, he'll say hallelujah, you're home. Hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. You got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings, and I know that when God took you back, he said hallelujah, you're home. I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved. Took the get well soon cars and stuffed animals. Poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down. But Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up. But I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. When God takes you back, He'll say hallelujah, you're home. I fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up. Folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face.